workout's ready to resume. Tom Rice is in the ring here. And we have Lea Leilani in there as the referee. Rice is going to meet a boy he hasn't gotten along with before named Joe Blanchard, who's out here in Hollywood from the Midwest. A newcomer out here, but a very promising wrestler, but a hot-tempered one at the same time. And he leg snatches, and Rice went down with a thud. And a step-over toe hold, and Blanchard breaks at the suggestion of Lea Leilani, who, of course, is the famous Hawaiian wrestler, former professional football player. Rice wants to know how come I got lifted so high and dropped so hard on that canvas. Into that referee's hold once again, and Rice takes the top headlock, grabs an arm also, and he's lifting up on it, and this puts a lot of pressure, and this is one that hurts. And Lea Leilani decides it's enough, as there is a takedown there. And the break is ordered. Leilani, you notice, is in his bare feet. He always wrestles that way. And I hope we'll have a chance to see him in action, too. Nice dive and a roll-up leg scissors by Joe Blanchard. Works it very rapidly. Look out. Tom Rice comes over the top side. This really shouldn't have happened. Leilani had ordered the break. They were a little slow about getting up, and so Blanchard is going to lift Tom Rice and put him outside the ring. And wait a minute, the fist may fly here. Leilani says, come on, let's just take it easy for the moment, boys. Back to the wrestling, and let's see how long it'll last before something else happens between these two. Here's a body lock put on by Tom Rice. Joe Blanchard feels the pressure from that. Slips an arm in there. He's going to try to get the other one in, I do believe, to try to break that. No, he hip locks beautifully. Look at that as he snapped Tom Rice right over on his back. Rice tugging on hair, which just shouldn't be done, trying to spoil things. And the break in the meantime, Leilani orders that so they can get up and try a few more tactics. Uh-oh, that hurt a little bit. That hip lock wasn't so good. Tom Rice has been landing on that canvas with some resounding thuds here. There in the referee's hold once again. Maneuvering for position, and there is Rice diving in with that leg scissors of his, which he does so well. It continually seems to fool the other wrestlers. They just can't keep their legs out of that one. Rice takes a headlock on top of everything else and begins to put the pressure on all the way up and down here. So there's the break. Watch it. Let's see if they get away. They do. Every time Tom Rice breaks clean, he thinks it's a major accomplishment and wants all the fans to know about it. Side headlock put on now by Joe Blanchard. Tom Rice reaching for the hair, reaching for anything to try to get himself out of this hold. Comes up with a body lock, now goes out on the arm to try to break the pressure of that side headlock. And look how Joe Blanchard is rearing back with that. And then the hold is broken, and he's taken down with Tom Rice going on top, taking a wrist lock. Blanchard comes out of it. He's topside. And we've seen some pretty fast maneuvering in here by a couple more of these wrestlers during our wrestling workouts. Blanchard just leans in there once again. Wait, look out there. Boys can lose their tempers faster than I can tell you about it here, particularly when we have Tom Rice and Joe Blanchard against each other. Now, here's a lecture from Tom Rice, and Blanchard indicates he'd just as soon go on with the wrestling no matter whether it's rough or tough or scientific or whatever it is. Here he goes for a cradle hold. Joe Blanchard has a cradle hold, but he hasn't actually taken Tom Rice down with it as yet. Rice is trying to maintain his balance. Blanchard can't quite figure how to get him off balance, and instead, look at Tom Rice with a nice maneuver there. Put some pressure on Blanchard's left leg, took him down. So Joe Blanchard ready to move, comes in at Tom Rice into that referee's hold here once again. Top headlock now put on, and a takedown. Nice rolling takedown that time by Tom Rice. Caught a leg and the head at the same time, and he has them all locked up here, and they break on the command of the referee. Set move into the referee's hold, and Tom Rice. Nice top wrist lock. He has not key locked it as yet, but he's got it up there pretty well. And he may be pulling hair, but Joe Blanchard spoils things for him and gets him off balance. And now has a chance for a possible reverse full Nelson. He's not going for that. He's keeping half Nelson, taking now a wrist lock into a hammer lock and then breaking the hold. So back to the center of the ring. And Tom Rice has got shoelace trouble over here, so we hold up things for just a moment while he gets the shoelace tied once again. Now the action resumes. Tom Rice takes the top headlock, pulls down on it, and takes down Joe Blanchard. And now has a half Nelson here, then moves behind for a body lock. Lost it. Joe Blanchard a little too fast for him on that one. Got away and almost got his own body lock. He hasn't gotten it locked up tight here yet, but he's working toward that. Watch Tom Rice with his counter move now as he tries some maneuver. It's a wrist lock. Arm bar. The bell has called for the end of the action. Nobody wants to quit. Then Rice finally decides he's had enough, I think, of a young fellow by the name of Joe Blanchard. So